Okay, with the debates in Detroit, 2020 Democrats are hoping for a comeback after President Trump won Michigan. In 2016, he was the first Republican to carry this state since 1988. Well, the head of the Republican National Committee penning an op-ed in the Detroit News titled, "Socialist Policies Won't Fly in Michigan." Joining me now, the GOP Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel, who knows Michigan very well. Ronna, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
I want to start by looking at some statistics for the top 10 searches in Google in the last 7 days here in Michigan, issues that people are worried about. I want to put this up for you. Atop the list is health care. Now, we know this is something that also our polling shows that a lot of voters think that Democrats are better equipped to handle that issue. They don't trust Republicans who've talked about repealing it, but haven't really made a good public case or articulation for what they would do about health care. It's got voters worried, and yet here in Michigan, they say it is their #1 issue.
Well, you have seen Republicans take this on. You saw the Graham Cassidy bill, and you saw Democrats refusing to come across the aisle that would block grant money to the states. You've seen the president say he's going to protect pre-existing condition coverage. But what you did see from the Democrats tonight is a total socialist plan, a takeover of Medicare, of all of our health care with this proposal for Medicare-for-all. They didn't know how to pay for it. They were dishonest about the fact that it would raise taxes on every single American. And Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren said flat out, they'll take away private health insurance plans. And I don't think that's something people in Michigan would like. In fact, it's been polled in Michigan. It's not something that's popular. And I think a lot of union workers would say, hey, you're going to take away my plan that I negotiated. You're going to take me off of my plan where I can choose my doctor and what's best for me and my family. I don't think that's going to fly.
Well, and you mentioned Senator Elizabeth Warren. She talked about this tonight, that some of those things that she heard her fellow Democrats saying on the stage, she felt they were GOP talking points. And she said, listen, don't fall into that trap. Here's what she said as a bit of a warning to her fellow candidates.
We are the Democrats. We are not about trying to take away health care from anyone. That's what the Republicans are trying to do. And we should stop using Republican talking points in order to talk with each other about how to best provide that health care.
Ronna, and we had just played a soundbite from Elizabeth Warren, which stands in such good contrast to what we heard from the congressman there speaking with Peter. He's cautioning them about going too far left, about taking away health care, private insurance from millions of Americans who may not be so sold on that idea. Her response to some of this pushback tonight was essentially, hey, listen, we got to stand up here and fight for things, and we can't just say there's no way to get it done. That's not why we're running. But, you know, there's definitely a schism there. She also said, Ronna, tonight, that if you say these things about losing private insurance and warning people, you're essentially, she's accusing her fellow Democrats of using your GOP talking points in this debate tonight. What do you think?
Well, she was dishonest tonight. First of all, she wouldn't admit that it would be a tax cut on the middle class, which it absolutely would be. The estimates are $32 trillion to do this Medicare for all. I think that would skyrocket. And taking away private health care plans for 180 million Americans. I do not want Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren telling me what doctor I can go to, what medical procedures I get to have. I don't want Washington making those decisions. I want to make that decision between me and my doctor. And she is absolutely being dishonest when she is saying Democrats are not taking something away. They absolutely are proposing taking away your private health insurance plans. And I do not think the majority of Americans want that.
Well, and a number of the Democrats believe what you believe, that it could be detrimental to whomever becomes the nominee if that's their position. I want to quickly play something for you from South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He said no matter what these men and women propose, that the GOP and the president are going to come after all of them in the same way. Here's what he said.
If it's true that if we embrace a far-left agenda, they're going to say we're a bunch of crazy socialists. If we embrace a conservative agenda, you know what they're going to do? They're going to say we're a bunch of crazy socialists. So let's just stand up for the right policy, go out there and defend it.
All right, quick 10 seconds from you, Chairwoman, before we got to wrap up.
Well, the winner tonight was Donald Trump, because he gets to run on an economy that's booming, wages that are up, jobs that are coming back, especially in Michigan as manufacturing jobs are coming back. And I thought it was really shameful tonight that we did not hear any mention of USMCA. We are in Michigan. We need manufacturing jobs coming back. And not one person on that stage said we need to revise NAFTA and pass USMCA. And that is critical to my home state of Michigan.
It's certainly very important in this region. RNC Chairwoman, thank you, Ronna McDaniel, for stopping in with us tonight. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.